What's up, guys? We're Mark and Catherine, and we just returned from Glacier National Park, and we're so excited to share with you our favorite 5 epic hikes in Glacier.
Glacier National Park is home to some of the world's most stunning landscapes, one of the most epic drives in North America, and one of the rare places in the lower 48 where you can actually hike to a real glacier. From spotting grizzly bears and bighorn sheep to finding icebergs floating in the incredible alpine lakes, the hikes at Glacier are definitely some of the best you'll find anywhere.
Let's start this video off with the hike to Grinnell Glacier, which was discovered in 1885 by George Bird Grinnell. The hike is about 11 miles round trip, and with 1,600 feet of elevation gain, we found it somewhat challenging. The parking lot for the trailhead fills quickly. You'll want to get there pretty early. The first 2 miles of the hike are flat and travel past 2 beautiful lakes to the base of the climb. If you'd rather skip this portion of the hike, hop on the shuttle boat at Mini Glacier Lodge. It'll take you across Swift Current Lake and Lake Josephine, where you'll hop off the boat and onto the trail just where it begins to climb. We couldn't believe the views of the blue alpine lakes as we climbed the rugged trail, and once we started, the views never stopped. Along the way, we were so surprised by how cold the water was from the overhanging waterfall along the trail. We couldn't believe that we found a herd of bighorn sheep grazing in a meadow just below the glacier. The last quarter mile of the hike is the steepest, but well worth the effort as you are treated to a spectacular view of the lake and glacier. And don't forget to bring some food, because what we enjoyed most about Grinnell was relaxing on the rocks next to the glacier, enjoying the spectacular scenery during lunch. It's one of those magical moments you'll never forget. On our way back down the mountain, Catherine made a surprise discovery next to the trail. Right next to her is a bighorn sheep. Super cool, just looking right at her. Eating lunch.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. Honestly, this trail can't get any better.
It looked like we were going to become lunch, so then we left. So yeah, super fun.
Now we're on the hike to Ptarmigan Tunnel, which is a 240-foot tunnel built by the Civilian Conservation Corps in the 1930s. Your hike begins behind the cabins near the Swift Current Motor Inn. It's about 11 miles round trip, and with 2,300 feet of elevation gain, is a little bit tougher than Grinnell. About an hour in, you'll reach Ptarmigan Falls, which we found to be a great place for a snack break. A couple miles later, you'll see the Ptarmigan Wall, which is a thin ridge of rock towering 1,700 feet above the trail, come into view. But don't be fooled into thinking you're almost there like we did. The difficult part is just beginning. The final segment of the climb up the wall toward the tunnel is pretty tough. There are 2 long, continuous switchbacks, and they're not easy. Exhausted at the tunnel entrance, we couldn't believe the great view of Ptarmigan Lake and the glacially sculpted U-shaped valley we just passed through. But walking through the tunnel to the other side of the wall is something you'll never forget. It's truly like walking into another world. Here you'll have completely stunning views of the Belly River Valley and Elizabeth Lake. Equally impressive is the cliffside trail itself, which is carved out of the red rock face of Crowfeet Mountain. The views and the scenery surrounding Ptarmigan Tunnel are truly amazing.
Coming out of the tunnel, and it's just like, wow. That's why we've heard so many good things about it. It's truly amazing. One of those rare things you get to see in life. Now we're on our way to Iceberg Lake, which is located in an area of the park commonly frequented by grizzly bears. Complete with icebergs reflecting on the water, it is perhaps the most stunning lake in the park. After hiking Grinnell and Ptarmigan, we were happy to find this 10-mile round-trip hike with only 1,300 feet of elevation gain a little bit easier. You'll begin your hike on the same initial route as the hike to Ptarmigan Tunnel. Just past Ptarmigan Falls, though, take the fork towards Iceberg Lake, and soon thereafter, the Ptarmigan Wall will come into view. We thought that this lake was spectacular, with its glacial blue color and chunks of ice floating in the chilly water. We were shockingly surprised when we came across 2 grizzly bears rummaging through the forest for huckleberries. I look up and there's like a golden blonde grizzly and then a darker black grizzly. And yeah,
no mistaking them. I mean, it was, oh my gosh, it was so cool.
So,
I mean, a little scary and really cool at the same time, because they were close. I felt like they were really close. I guess they're about 80 feet, but when you're looking at a grizzly, that feels close.
Yeah, it felt close. And they started walking kind of towards us a little bit. You could hear the shuffling, everybody shuffling backwards. And so go Montana Grizzlies.
Yeah, right. The hike to Cracker Lake is one of our favorites. It sits in a stunning glacial-carved valley with the majestic 10,000-foot Mount Sia towering above. You'll start your 13-mile hike at the south end of the parking lot above the Mini Glacier Hotel. It didn't take us long to figure out that we were sharing this trail with lots of horses, so it's best to keep your eyes on the trail. The majority of the hike passes through fairly dense forest with no views, and between that and the horse droppings, we were honestly wondering if this hike was on par with the others. But after about 5 miles and 1,400 feet of climbing, we were treated to the fantastic views of Cracker Lake and the surrounding valley. When we were there, we met a ranger who asked us if we had noticed the abandoned mining equipment, which was somehow transported here in the late 1800s. This mine was established in order to increase the stock price of a mining company back east. But in the end, there was no gold here, and it was all a scam.
Now we're climbing Going to the Sun Road to Logan Pass, which is where Sun Road crosses the Continental Divide. Here you'll find the trailhead for the extraordinary Highline Trail. It's one of the most famous trails in the country and travels above Going to the Sun Road for more than 7 miles. We were totally blown away by a section of the trail which is 4 to 6 feet wide and drops off hundreds of feet down to the road below. The beautiful views, the excellent opportunities for spotting wildlife, and a trail hanging like a shelf over the steep cliffs all combine to make this one of our favorite epic hikes in the park. Well, that's it for the best hikes in Glacier National Park. Tell us in the comments below which hike you like most. Please consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel, which helps us get this and other videos out to you and others.